Today, I would like to ask you a couple of questions about the Netherlands. How to adapt to a new culture, language, and people. This interview is designed to help newcomers to reveal their growth potential in a foreign country and to integrate better in the Netherlands. We will discuss the most important questions and answers on becoming Dutch in order to help newcomers to reveal their growth potential in the foreign countries. You will discover how to learn a language quickly, how to find the right teacher, how to integrate in the Netherlands, how to find friends, how to get in touch with your Dutch friend, and what are the topics that the Dutch like to speak about. I am talking today with Jordi de Looff, who just came back to the Netherlands from South Africa and who will share some secrets of how to adapt to a new culture, language, job, and people. Let's start with introduction.
Hi, I'm Jordi de Looff. I am an entrepreneur. I'm developing companies and I'm taking interest in other companies and helping companies grow. We build them and find finance. I do that in companies in South Africa, in Europe. Myself, 2 years ago, I arrived back in the Netherlands. I lived for 15 years, more than 15 years in Cape Town in South Africa and traveled about 20 countries. Yeah, and that's me.
Wow, and what made you choose to come back to the Netherlands?
Together with my wife, when we started the business in South Africa, it was a journey, life experience, fun, research, discovery, getting to know the world. And we got children. After they were, the oldest was 9 or 8, 9. She would like to have also to know her identity, where she's coming from. The family is Dutch, is from Zeeland. And she had a strong affinity with the grandmothers and fathers and family members. That was one of the first priorities that we thought, thinking about, hey, if we stay another couple of years, we will never come back. So that was a little bit of a scared moment. So, and of course, there are also cultural challenges, what you have in South Africa from a business perspective. And that in Europe, there's more future for children and for ourselves. And we believe South Africa is a great for when you're getting older, it's great to be there 4 or 5 months a year. And the other time of the year, staying close by your family.
Right. And can you tell me about a specific thing you had never done before and that you have started doing?
Sure. I was a person that always doing everything, preferably things that nobody is doing, or scary things in business, taking risks. So I don't know what to start actually. It's a good question.
Just a couple of things, maybe one thing which pop up.
Crazy things, for example, I drove together with my girlfriend 20 years ago to Cape Town by road with a car. We crossed war areas. Drive through all of the continent of Africa was one of our biggest experiences. In lots of countries, we did lots of things, from opening businesses to joining people, villages, and then we arrived in Cape Town, we opened a company. I wanted to sail back to the Netherlands. That never happened. We had a small boat there, but sailing back, you have to deal with all kinds of other challenges. yeah, in other crazy stuff. That's what you ask, eh? Crazy stuff?
Yeah.
Or things that I never done before. Oh yeah, maybe from a business perspective, I went into the understanding the financial industry. Did a study in the financial equity and private equity because of I also always that entrepreneurial guy that works from a marketing sales perspective, and people don't intend that you have understanding of finances, because that's what lawyers and what accountants and financial people doing. And so I wanted to learn that as well. So I started that 6 years ago, and now I'm full into the venture capital finance industry, which is new, but a new chapter for me.
Nice. And can you describe a situation in which you embrace a certain cultural aspect of the Netherlands when you came back? Maybe.
Yeah, the cultural aspect.
Yeah.
I thought that I always thought that the Netherlands was a little bit more easier going, not so strict as the Germans, but what I noticed is that the Netherlands is quite tough when it comes to opinions in comparison to other countries. Quite harsh, quite unpolite in a lot of ways. It's difficult for cross-cultural aspects, really understanding each other. The Dutch are, from a culture perspective, are more individuals, which I learned the last years, which was quite disappointed. Maybe I'm the same, but that is what I noticed. So individuele maatschappij.
Yeah, right. And in South Africa, it was other way around.
Yeah, in South Africa, you've got 11 cultures. So you've got 11 identities, which is really interesting. They call it a country that is colored by its people. And so you've got blacks, whites, within blacks, different from Muslim to Jewish, and they all have a major role. And you notice that. And of course, you've got apartheid and underpressed people, got poor people, you've got extremely rich people, and you see them living together. For example, every week there's a braai. You can show up, people invite you. You don't have to plan. If you can't come, it's also okay. So it's the day before. If I want to phone a CEO of a company, I have contact with him. It's easy. I don't have to go cut corners. They're open for when you're not direct. You can also be indirect. You want to learn something. People are open for it. In the Netherlands, often, that's what I feel, you have to think ahead what you want to achieve. You have to be show yourself in a different way, which I think I did also very well in the old days when I still lived in the Netherlands and grew up. But then when you're looking around the world, it's different. That's what I noticed.
Right. And can you describe a situation in which you were uncomfortable in the Netherlands, and how did you handle the situation?
Since I came back from South Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I never feel really I don't have really much of those challenges, because I'm not an individual like that I will always find a way. But the things I feel uncomfortable is maybe from a family perspective, that you have to adapt, that you see your children that grow up assertive, open-minded, from an open-minded. When here in Netherlands, I notice family and friends that you have to go down to the ground, and you have to be you have to
like average, or you mean? Or,
no.
What?
You have to adapt yourself. You can't stick out of the crowd.
Yeah. So it's a culture of average people. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
Do normal, and it's okay.
Do normal, you do good enough.
Yeah.
But it's with an ze kijken de kat uit de boom. They don't want to, the intent, or it looks like they don't want to know what you really mean and what you really are doing. Which feels sometimes awkward. It looks like the Dutch are very deep and intense, understanding what you want, who you are, but at the end it's also vague. It's quite shallow. Of course, it's in other countries as well, but I think being yourself, just being yourself is also not. They always think and say in the Netherlands, like how it was in the 60s and in the 80s. I believe it's changed. A Dutch culture is not anymore how it was before. I think, yeah. Yeah, you see other countries around. You see growing, and you see evolving in what the Dutch were 30 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I now feel and see. Yeah.
But how was it before? What's the change?
Look, the image of the Netherlands. We did a lot of Dutch branding in South Africa, for example. You know, when there was a trade mission from Rutte, the president, or Koningin Willem-Alexander, we telling for 30 years the same story about how great we are in water, how great we are in innovations, and but it's 30 years the same story. There's also no evolution in it. That was what I encountered as one of the eye-openers, while other countries around us are on certain aspects way further. Yeah. But of course, we're still an open-minded country, very open-minded. But when you come back into your family, your close friends, innovation is only for a few in the Netherlands. So if you are innovative and creative and outside the box, I encounter that as sometimes difficult.
I understand.
I hope you cut stuff once in a while.
What? Sorry?
I hope you cut sometimes in your interview.
Oh, no, it's for you. You are speaking.
Okay.
So, but it's I understand this because since I wrote the book, the people also looking at me and they think, what should we do? It's a little bit strange. So it's like out of average.
Yeah.
And the people just, I noticed they don't know how to react on the fact that I've written the book. So they just walk away, or if I tell about this, so they don't ask anything. And it just looks like it's scary, or I don't know, for them.
No, yeah, but that's it. That's what I also feel. But it is especially if you are an individual that is innovative, creative, thinking ahead, thinking globally. That's a problem, especially in where I now live in Zeeland, or in the province of Zeeland. I think in those rural areas in the Netherlands, yeah, you have to think 10 years back in the sense of how to handle and with tact with people around you. So interfere and talk, approach people. You have to think about it. And that is I think what I'm noticed and what I had in South Africa and other countries. You don't have to do that. I didn't have to do that. It goes automatically. So, but it's maybe also the mindset, because I went to another country. I was open. I want to do business. People were open for me. So I encountered that here in the Netherlands. It's a little bit more difficult.
Right. I understand. Describe a time when you felt stressed or overwhelmed, or maybe disconnected.
With that understanding that there is a cultural gap between my children and family and friends here in the Netherlands. That was for me that moment. Then you notice, oh shit, I need to act. I need to change. I need to be aware. And I don't know how. I don't know how to tell my children. I don't know how to guide my children or myself in this case. So that is quite a shocking moment, I think.
And how did you handle it?
I've got luckily both two strong children. So actually they handled themselves. But I needed to talk a lot with people who are skilled and experienced in it to understand it.
Okay, yeah, right. And what's the biggest misconceptions that people here have about you, and why do they think that? Yeah.
Misperception.
Yeah, misconception.
It's difficult for people to understand what I'm really doing. So, and then it's difficult for them to understand who's the person. I'm a multi-functional, all-in-one guy, setting up different businesses, setting up different, have different interests, take everything, never say no. So I'm quite a stranger for the general person, but I'm focused and I do my game. So I'm always I have my way of, I have my skills, got my expertise, which is for friends and family difficult to understand. When you are in the industry, you will understand it. So that is, for me, sometimes difficult to explain. So what are you really doing? Yeah, I'm opening different companies. I'm joining companies. I'm investing in companies. But they like to hear something that they understand. So I would advise to people when they come into the Netherlands, be clear in telling what you do, that people are related to. For example, I'm in the financial industry, I'm an accountant. Oh yeah, you're an accountant. Then I understand it. But if you say what I'm doing, I'm developing companies. Oh, what is that? What is that developing? Why you? Then it's sometimes fake, and I believe maybe it's in the rest of the world, or I think it's the same. But especially Dutch people, because there's a small group that's very innovative, they will understand it. But the big conservative, traditional-minded group in the Netherlands, and that's bigger than the rest. So to those you have to be more specific, more punctual in what you say and how you say it.
Yeah, you're right. I noticed that too. So that to know exactly what you do, where you live, so they can exactly know what, like, to put you in hokjes,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Dutch,
hockey, yeah, hockey, yeah, yeah.
hokjes. So for me, it's also difficult because I'm not standard Dutch or standard other, because they always ask, okay, where do you live? So, and if I say, oh, I have a villa on the coast, it's not where I should be. I should live in a small apartment, and I'm blonde, so I should be very stupid. But when I say I have 2 university degrees, oh, I'm not passing in nowhere
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So the people are surprised that maybe, oh, maybe I'm clever. Maybe how can I speak 6 languages? After that, I'm blonde, so no, I should. So it's for me, it's also not that easy to
Yeah, I can imagine.
fit in this society, but I think I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
Like you investigating and
amazing that you can write this book and even think about writing it, because you see the importance. So you see there's a need, and I think you're right. If you going back, or you're going to the Netherlands, there are it's not always how it looks like. I think, especially from a culture perspective.
Mhm.
But I think it's worldwide the same. Or it doesn't matter where you go, but I believe.
Yeah, you have to be here for a while to understand people and culture, and some people don't understand it after 10 or 20 years of living here,
Correct.
and they're still not speaking Dutch, and this is even more difficult for them to understand the culture, because the language, it's a culture. If you don't know the language, you cannot integrate into culture.
Yeah.
So, and but do you also ever feel judged?
No.
No?
No.
Not that,
Can you give an example of what you mean?
judged if, for example, if I speak with some accent, or people, a lot of foreigners, they speak with accents, so they very often Dutch think, oh, they're stupid because they're not, or judge, if you come from China, you should be like very good with maybe electronics, but not good with languages, or I say, so judged on your appearance, or judged on your.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, look, I never been judged, but what I feel is that I think what is very Dutch is when something is new, individuals are new, they don't judge, but they are when they don't know a country, a language, a job, or I have a feeling they're not always go further. They don't think about the they don't see through it. But I believe that comes because of, say, 70% in the Netherlands is traditional, is conservative, is narrow-minded. That's what I think. But sorry to say it out loud.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, there's a small group who's very innovative, and they make the Netherlands. That is what people relate to as, that's the Netherlands, because you can do everything. Well, that's not true. If you hear in small villages here in the rural area in the Netherlands, you know, they look at you. Church is important, so you cannot step outside the line. So if you are a stranger, you will always be a stranger. You have to fight hard to get accepted. Yeah, and I think acceptance is the most important part in life. Sort of. So I believe that is not that easy in the Netherlands.
No. No. No, it's but maybe you can tell me about one of your favorite experiences here.
Yeah, favorite experience. Yeah, look, I'm now comparing it with South Africa or when I lived, but of course I'm Dutch. I grew up here. My favorite experiences is my family connection, some friends that I have, where I grow up, and the way I grow up. I always had I have a happy life. I'm fortunate in this. So and that you can ask this. You ask this question, and I cannot answer it.
It's a very difficult question. They seem easy, but how do you make friends here in the Netherlands, and who are your friends?
I've got a very diverse group of friends from my old time, from the old days. I've got some friends since the last 6-8 years, but and I've got all my friends from South Africa who lived there also for more than 10 years. They all came back to the Netherlands.
Oh, really?
So that become my friends actually. But that are 9 out of 10 open-minded people. They are interested in different cultural aspects. They are interested in the individual as well in the businesses that I do, or they don't care, you know, but they are interested in the individual. So that are my friends. But making new friends, of course, I came back during COVID. So that's a little bit difficult. So, but I'm lucky and fortunate that I've got quite a lot of friends from before I left to South Africa.
So they were your school friends?
Yeah, school friends, and after that, I've got a mixture of different friends, different type of friends, different mindsets, in business, without business, completely people you drink with, people you laugh with, and people you are being serious with, people you get, you know, from school. Yeah, different people.
Yeah. And tell me about something you really miss here in the Netherlands from South Africa.
Yeah, I miss the yeah, we live there in a bubble, you know, like in your own world with people that you know, and the excitement of doing things every week. You go away. You're invited. You invite other people. A weekend away. 3-4 times a week, going to restaurants. You're eating a lot of time. We eat a lot of time outside. You get invited, not to plan, no, but days before they invite you, you know. That kind of atmosphere. Of course, the sun and the warmth. It's the warmth. That is it. The warmth. It's not so warm here in the Netherlands, what I feel. Of course, when you ask for it, people will help you here in the Netherlands as well. But it doesn't come automatically. So and you have to, yeah, you have to work on it. Yeah, it doesn't go automatically. It doesn't go by itself. You have to work. You have to be alert. You have to be on top of it.
And you have to plan also everything here 3 weeks in advance.
Yeah,
you can say, I will come tomorrow, or let's go this weekend.
Yeah, and actually, I noticed those people that that I have to plan, I have to do difficult with. Then I notice those people I don't see so much anymore. So I see those people that is easy to approach, and they.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So you're actually now not completely Dutch anymore.
No, actually not. And actually, that I think that is maybe cool. I like it. That I feel I'm slightly different than the general Dutch individual. And I was actually always slightly different when it comes to cultural Dutch perspectives. Of course, I've got Dutch blood and I've got still, but I also know the other side, not only from South Africa, but also other countries. Because you look at it, I always looked 15, 16, 17 years from South Africa, from whatever country I was, I looked back to the Netherlands and you have a different perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. And tell me about the toughest decision you had to make in the last year or last couple of years.
Yeah, I'll go back to the Netherlands.
It was difficult,
Yeah.
this decision?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going back?
No,
No.
but I would look for opportunities when they are there. But I would always have a home in the Netherlands. I know this is my home. I think this is great for my children. My family is here, but I'm still traveling a lot. So I feel I don't need to live there anymore.
Yeah.
But for my work and holidays. So I feel I have the same experience when I'm traveling, the same mentality. I'm going there and then enjoy myself to the fullest.
And what is your favorite traveling destination?
Yeah, currently I'm traveling a lot to Malawi. It's a landlocked country in Africa. And I fly via different other countries, often fly via Kenya, Uganda, Zambia, also South Africa. So, but that is now, since the last 2 years, it's quite exciting.
Really? Why? What's...
It's a country that is not so known. Wildlife, I love wildlife. I love nature conservation. It's a country that is a really developing country, so it's growing. So lots of opportunities. You can see that in the spirit of the people. They're thinking different. They are looking ahead. They're completely in a different world and a different mindset, but with lots of opportunities. And yeah, I love this opportunity-driven mindset, and that you find in those kind of countries.
Nice to know.
Not in the Netherlands.
And describe a time when you applied for a job. Now, maybe before your own company, how did it go? Is it difficult to...
If I need to apply for a job.
Yeah.
I never applied for a job.
Never? You never applied for a job?
No, only when I was 24 or something, they asked me, but then you need to hand in your interview. So I never really applied out of myself. I always was in business, so I have a different mindset. So I don't know how that works, but what I heard from friends and family, there's a shortage in work, but it's difficult it's not that easy to get a job.
Oh.
Because you have to live somewhere else, you have to travel, or it's not what you want, or there's always something, so that holds you back to apply or to get an interview.
Yeah, right. It seems easy now, but it's not that easy.
No, that's what my gut feel says.
Yes, but you were always entrepreneur, or you never worked?
I'm always an entrepreneur.
The whole life?
Yeah.
Wow, it's great.
Yeah.
Great to have this spirit, free spirit.
Yeah. I also think from people when they come from overseas and when they start a business, I think that is the easiest way to survive. Because it takes quite long to get a job, I believe. But if you start, yeah, I think you depends on what you want. Of course, there's different kind of jobs, of course.
What was your first company, or where did you start?
I had candy stores when I was 17.
Candy stores?
Yeah, it's ice cream and candy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And how did it go?
Yeah, it went well. Yeah, I was young and I was yeah, and then I was able to sell them, and then I could move to another opportunity. I went into different companies. Sorry, I set up different companies online, in the online industry, and then I started working for Unilever because they asked me to come, and I needed young entrepreneurs to learn from, and yeah, and I learned a lot. And then I thought, after 5 years, now I want to go back for myself again. Yeah.
Nice. And what's the biggest goal you have achieved here?
Yeah, actually, that I followed my dream I wanted to always support other entrepreneurs in setting up and developing their businesses, and as wide as possible, the more the better. So I wanted to set up a company that supports others and other people and other entrepreneurs. So that's what I'm doing now, actually. So I'm quite proud of that.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great that you are doing what you like to do. And what is your vision for future?
Yeah, my vision for future is actually my vision was actually, I hoped to, what I'm doing now, to get that more into the market, to be more, to grow, so that people understand this business concept, and do that, for example, in different countries. Yeah, so instead of helping another company grow, I help this company, what I'm running currently, grow, so that I can get support from other like-minded, so that we can grow all together quicker, other companies, and invest in those other companies and help them build. So that is my future wish.
Sounds great. Sounds interesting. Yeah. Sounds like a fairy tale to me.
Yeah, but yeah.
Nice. And here are some questions about learning a new language, because firstly, you need to learn Dutch if you come to the Netherlands. The most of the Dutch speak English, but you feel closer to them if you can speak Dutch language. And because, as I already said, that language is a mirror of the human mind and society and of culture. So can you give some advice to the listener why it is so important to learn a new language quickly?
Yeah, I think it's important to have the language, if you have the basic skills of the Dutch language, talking, indeed what you say, and understanding, I think you can learn it quite quick, in the sense of the common general topics and or what's about your interest. You can, yeah, I would always advise to grasp that, critical, to survive here in the Netherlands.
And what is the most important thing to you in learning a new language? Maybe you learned another languages, so.
Yeah, I think the cultural aspect. I think.
Right. So it's more the cultural aspect you want to learn?
In the environment you live in the environment you live, I think. So understanding, for example, in my village or my peer group or my family, to understand more the does and the don'ts.
Yeah.
yeah, I think then you learn a lot from the rest of the Netherlands as well.
Mhm. And what is the biggest challenge when it comes to learning a new language?
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge for you? Did
For
you
me,
learn some in
it's
Africa?
reading, remembering, and learning. Doing it.
Remembering, yeah.
Yeah.
And did you learn some new language in South Africa or not?
Yeah.
How did it go?
Bad.
Bad? Why? I
No,
want to know.
what I did, I learned a lot of the cultural aspect.
Mhm.
I went very deep in that. Like in South Africa and in Africa, you have Xhosa, Zulu, Malawi, different languages, Kenya, different, Tanzania, different languages, Swahili as common in Eastern Africa, but also with the different cultural aspects. So there's a lot of overlap. So I choose to learn more on the cultural side, which means I could anticipate quicker on details which are very important.
Mhm.
Things about respect to elders and how to handle that with respect and how to, yeah, that's what you don't learn in the Netherlands at all. So it was for me quite interesting. So I focused and learned a lot on that. So instead of learning all those languages, it's impossible. So in the Netherlands, sorry, in South Africa, I learned my English. My second language was always German. So and then I swapped. I mean, difficult now to talk German.
Wow. And how did you learn English there? Did you have some lessons or just?
Yeah, maybe I think every Dutch citizen can speak English.
Yeah.
But you learn a little bit. I'm learning by doing. I'm not so talented. I'm not so talented in my languages.
And why? And where did you learn German?
Also, Heap School where I grew up.
Yeah. Okay. And what is the biggest challenge for you when it comes to learning a new language?
Yeah, it's really remembering words like the grammar.
Just remembering. Just you need some technique how you can remember things better.
Yeah, exactly. Because I also I spoke on my school. I had Spanish. I did it for 3 years or something, but I forget everything. You know, it's but also the learning. It takes a lot of energy just to the techniques to learn, how to remember a chapter on a certain topic and then learn it like physically. That's my challenge, my biggest challenge.
Yeah. So did you know that actually you need to repeat the same word 7 times, and only when you will remember it?
Like a muscle memory, or
yeah, like 7 times in context, not just repeat the same word, but 7 times in different sentences. So that's why they say if you learn something today, tomorrow in the morning, you need to repeat it again, because if you don't do it, you will lose 50% of what you learn, and if you will not repeat it in 2 days, you will lose 70% of what you learn.
Yeah.
So you need to know the technique, how to learn, and how long you need to learn. For example, you can only be concentrated 20 minutes or 15 minutes, really, for the language. So it's better to learn every day 15 minutes than in one time 2 hours. Like this, some you need some techniques.
Hi, sorry.
Hi, where were you?
My laptop cut off.
I was talking and I thought, oh, he's listening so good. He doesn't interrupt me. And you were just freezing on the note like, oh, like the face was very interested. So, how do you feel actually about learning a new language online, like we are doing now? on Zoom or Skype or in Teams?
Yeah, I don't think it would be an issue at all. I think it would be effective and 100%.
Okay, so it's okay. And if you want to study a new language, how would you search for a course?
Yeah, I would go Google online. I did a course a while ago by the nuns. How you call it in Vught?
Oh yeah, I know, really. So, and how did it go?
Yeah, it was for a week. It was very focused. I did it for English and I did it for German to learn my grammar and my. I skipped school for a long time, and I need to hook up. So then I choose to do that in a week. So I tell some other people, students, sometimes if you don't do anything for 2 years, and you one week to the nuns, you know the same.
Did it go well?
Actually, it did. Yeah, I did. For what I needed that time. Yeah.
So it's a good method to learn in 1 week.
No, it was more for me. It was English was for a general business topics, and I needed to present myself, understand. So that was really good. I mean, I learned everything there. And I think I did it for my German. I did it for my grammar and all that stuff too.
Just improving, because you already were speaking German and English.
And I never did follow my school on the university. I never showed up.
Oh, really? So you didn't want to go to the language classes?
Yeah, I thought I can do it, but then you can't, because you miss a lot of details.
Yeah.
So all those classes I skipped. I did 1 week.
Yeah. Wow, but at the nuns, you could not skip, because you needed to stay there and to learn.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So this is also maybe a method. So if you come to me to learn the language, I close the door and I do not let you out for 1 week. And after 1 week, you can speak a language. So yeah, it's really important also to find a good teacher. And the course method that suits you for the following reason. There are people who are visual or audiovisual, and each type requires a different course. So there are video courses with a teacher, live courses in a classroom, or video courses without a teacher. And there are thousands of providers on internet, and both free of charge and for a great deal of money. So that's why it's not that easy to find one course, which course is right for you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And my extra value is that I give lessons in your native language, just Russian, Spanish, English, or Italian, and that will make it easier for you and will deliver quick results, because time is the most precious asset. So, and I can help people to use it wisely. And can I ask you something, some unconventional question? So unexpected question, maybe.
Yeah.
What's the most interesting thing about you that's not mentioned before? Tell me something unique about you.
Yeah, I'm me. I'm Jordi. I'm versatile in the sense of multicultural.
Right. Yeah. Nice. And what would be your key message to newcomers?
Yeah, adapt to the local environment you are in, and be more assertive in approaching the social cohesion, what's happened in your village or local or in your area, in your street where you live. So then you adapt very quick. Be assertive, approach people, because even in the Netherlands they will open you as well, but it's scared, you know, for a Dutch person here just to, for example, now next to my 4 new neighbors in South Africa, they would come by and they already welcomed you. You were already in and drinking beer, and you know what I mean. Even if they're older or younger, but here they're now here for a couple of months, busy. I approach them, but it's still a distance. So and I believe actually approach them, talk to them, you know, even if they would hesitate in the beginning, because that's what Dutch people do. They kijk de kat uit de boom. Kijken de kat uit de boom. So I think, well, what I did, I joined them then in that Dutch mentality.
Yeah.
And that I think is stupid. Even I should actually go there. Hey, come in, have a drink, have a beer. You know what I mean? Or or even if it's 10 minutes chat, it's also fine. Yeah. I've got still my wine for them, a bottle of wine, you know, to give them, because I don't know, you know, when they're there, but I don't go there and give the bottle of wine. So I'm doing the same. I have the same mentality as a general Dutch person. So I would advise, don't do that. Go out and approach them.
So yeah, just be yourself also. You can adjust here, but also stay very close.
Yeah. That's actually the best. Yeah, that's the best. I that's why I started when you asked me the first question, when I came here, I needed to adapt towards my own family and my friends. That's the stupid thing you can do, of course. So be yourself. But yeah, if you be too much yourself, so I think you have to find a balance in order to be accepted in the Netherlands. Of course, it depends on which environment you are, what kind of cultural environment aspect your surrounding has. I think that is but yeah, you're right. Be yourself.
Yeah, you should not forget who you are, actually, because you never will be happy if you will be a different person. But of course, you need to adjust to some cultural aspects, and you need to know how. And that's why I wrote this book, 32 Brilliant Ways to Survive and Thrive in a New Country, a New Languages, a New Life. And you can order my book on Amazon or on my website, tsarina.info/book. And now we have a small action, like for Christmas offer. If you order this book on my website, you will get a signed copy with your specified message if desired, and you will temporarily receive free shipping from us. So I can say that I'm now for sure an expert in learning a foreign language and in Dutch culture and in being in between two cultures. And in this book, I bring a compelling perspective to the subject of studying and personal growth. And my lessons come from the heart, and I rooted in my interaction with people. Many of their stories I share in this book, because I made like interviews like this, and I asked people many questions, and then I wrote this book. So what can I say? Thank you for this interview. And if you know somebody struggling with a language, I will be happy to help. And enjoy your uniqueness. Yeah, and your journey called life. So go for it and believe in you. I wish you a lot of success.
Yeah, you say the same for you. I love that you have this book, written this book, and the mindset that you tell this is, I think, it's great. Lots of people you can help, 100%.
Thank you, Jordi.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.